Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and time to get started on the next couple of bags. We're going to get two of them done. They're both a little bit, well, one of them's a little bit involved, but I'll try and get through it quick. I'm only going to get like one hub put together for you, and then so you can see how that goes, and the turnbuckles, and then the chassis stiffeners. Out here, and it's nice and sunny behind me. I still got some shade here because it's still a little bit in the AM. There's my boy Max back there, just kicking it, sitting outside like we always are. Getting ready here, and let's get into her. Get you situated down here so that you can see what the heck I'm doing. All right, we'll pull this back here. Hopefully I can keep all this in frame this time. I tried this camera angle on the last video, and it seemed to work out okay. So the outdrives are just MIPs. MIP's been doing this for a long time, and they still do the same thing. So it's, let me see, where's my camera? Still the same thing. Still got your grub screw in there with the pin holding it into the pivot body. So it's still the same idea. It's just that these are the plastic outdrives instead of the aluminum ones. I'd like to get some aluminum ones to put in this car later. I might be able to find some, like on eBay or something like that. There's a lot of stuff on there still, and there's a few people around in the groups that have a bunch of extra parts that I can probably get some stuff off of. But anyways, we're going to get the hub done, and I figured I'd do a steering hub because it's a little bit more involved, and I forgot that unlike today's outdrives, your pin for your hub, they used roll pins back then. So you got to press these suckers in there good and hard and be gentle at the same time so you don't bend one or crush it or just flat break it. So here we go. Still quite simple. You got your bearing. This pops off in there. And they did these little aluminum spacers between your bearings so that you didn't have any like slot between the bearings. It just floats down in there. The easiest way to do it was to put the bearing on the outdrive and send her home. That way, everybody's in, everybody's happy. You can kind of see that little shim kind of gets a little bit out of line, but once you put the outdrive through, it's perfect. Works really well. Now, here's the fun part of this. And put your little shim on. And notice, still sealed in the bag. And all my shims were rusted. What the heck? I seen that the little bottle of the MIP Loctite that comes with it was like breached. So yeah, it didn't survive well. So let me just get this in here. Am I straight? No, I am not straight. You gotta make sure these suckers are straight because it is a roll pin, so it makes it a real pain in the butt to get these guys through here. Then you gotta do a weird angle so that you can get it past. And then be forceful and gentle at the same time to get it to where it's even across, and then they jump. Oh, there we go. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty even across there. Well, not quite even. Nope, it don't. But it might be even enough. Sneak it across there just a little bit more. That's better. No, yeah. It's probably why they got rid of these. Because they are an absolute pain to do. Now, the pretty silver one goes out here for your steering on this one. And you got to make sure that you put it through the bottom. Get the old Tamiya tool out here. Run that puppy in. Get the nut. Put her on the other side, just like we did on the shock towers. Now, this little guy. This is your grub screw. This is what holds the C-hub into the arm. It'll lock down on your pin, and you have two different lengths pins. The short one's on the front and the long one's on the rear. It'll slide through, and the pin screws down and bites down onto the pin. Like again, this old plastic, you got to make sure that you got to be real gentle with how you're feeling it, because you're not going to really be able to feel how tight it gets. It'll tighten up a little bit, but you think that it's just maybe caught on something. And just slide it through the arm, run the grub screw down so it doesn't come out, because it'll work its way out, because it's moving just slightly back and forth as the chassis moves, and it'll work its way out. I've had it happen before. So then we got the little bushings. Let's see if I can get my fat, fumbly fingers in here. And just slides right down in there like that. There's still, well, not everybody, but a lot of companies are still using it this way. So got to make sure that your bushings are in there. Get that in there like that. Line up the hole. Now you got a shouldered screw for the bottom. And then you got a ball end one for the top, because that's where your link is going to be attached to. And you can kind of run that home, because it's still, you'll feel it stop, and it's still nice and firm because it's just sliding on the bushing. Where's my Tamiya? The Tamiya tool. The everybody tool. That, and just boom, it just stopped. Real gentle. Don't start cranking on it, or else you're going to pull the threads out and you've screwed up your hub. Especially now that these things are this old, you got to be real careful. Make sure that you get it in there properly, so you're not ruining your hub, because they're a little bit hard to find now. They're still out there, but they're getting harder and harder to find. So, that being done, that's ready to go on the car. So, as I used to say on some of the old infomercials when I was a kid, through the magic of television, We're ready to go. Ready to put these suckers in. So I'll set this off to the side. Oh, yes. And the other part of the magic was I built the links too, because you didn't want to go through the agonizing part of building links. I got one link left over here to do, but that's for the servo, and I ain't going to worry about that until we're ready to put the servo in anyways. And then our chassis braces here. So I just got to make sure that I remember I can still match them back up to the book, because it gives you a nice little one-to-one chart in the book for doing your links, and you can set them exactly on there, or you can mic them either way, or both, to get your links done. That we already did. We already built our hubs. We're sitting ready to go there. Got the links built, so let's get this sucker put together, and then we're going to put the chassis, put these on, the chassis braces on. These are going to go on after the links do, because they're a little bit in the way. So let's scoot this up here. Let's get the kid down. Let's scoot you back a little bit. Hopefully I don't knock you off the table here. Nope, it's gonna come down. That's better. Okay. Now, like I said, with the C-hubs and your steering blocks, the ball's got to go down, because this is way down here in the chassis. So these got to go down here to where they're going to meet with the links. Then you make sure that you have, where'd you go? There they are. The little shorties run through here. Nice and tight. Good movement. Oop, get out from underneath there. There you go. Yeah, that's good. Nice and snug, just like that. And you turn it up. There's that grub screw. Is that one? No. It's this one. Feel it just tighten down onto the bar. And that's it. Now, let's get our links attached on that one. That would be these guys here. So it'll hold it up. Excuse me. That's for that side. Did I make them both the same way? I did. I made them both the same way. Dang it. That one is backwards. And you always talk about old dog new tricks. Well, some of you guys will probably can put down in the comments on this one. It's like, well, duh, we all knew what that was for. This funny little tool, it's got your little driver on this end, and it's got this little slide on here. Never knew what this was for until now. I just figured it out myself. It goes right over the ball end, but you can actually turn it. How about that? Old dog new tricks. Golly. Yeah. Let's see. Am I going to get in here with both hands? Just like that. Ooh. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. Sometimes these are really tough. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yep, I did the same thing with the steering links. I didn't make one opposite. Bugger. I'm supposed to go over the other way. I can set my toe a little bit better later. Oh boy. Cat's walking on the soundbar again. If you heard that. Come on. Get on there. There we go. There. Feels a little bindy. We'll have to investigate. Just like we did with the hubs. There's a little... Doesn't seem to be there. I think it's the push and pull. We'll see once the other side gets put together. And see if that might... getting it equalized out will maybe eliminate it. Get our short pin. That one slid through real nice. Come on, Gerber. Help me out here. There we go. Mm-hmm. Good. Yes. Yeah. Might be that guy right there. Back you off a little bit. Yes, it was. How about that? See? Just like that. Fixed. No bind. Just had to back that off just a tiny little bit. So, now, onto the back. The back is going to be a little bit different as far as putting the hubs in because of these little guys. This makes it that much more fun. Because you can see here, there's a lot of room here. So what this does is you can actually change your wheelbase by just that much. Back and forth, you can stack them both in front, stretch the wheelbase out, put them on into the back, shorten it up a little bit, depending on what track you're on. The standard setting is right in the middle, which seems to work well for just about anything. But these little guys get to be a bit of a pain. Let's see if they're going to cooperate, because Murphy is my friend and he doesn't want to screw up my video. Yeah, right. Murphy is our friend because he does screw up our stuff. And while I'm doing this, if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing, or not, I'm just here for the agonizing torture of doing this, hit the like button. And maybe the subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And if you are subscribed, check your subscriptions. Make sure that you're still getting your notifications. Get the little ringy dingy bell. And these are the same way. Little grub screw right there. Whoops. Right there. Run it in. You feel it hit that bar. Done. Put the output shaft in. Grab this little dude. Yeah. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way. Oh, yeah. There we go. You can see what the heck I'm doing here. So most of you probably already know what the heck I'm doing. You know how to do this. This is just really, I love building anyways. It's my favorite part of the hobby. There we go. Yeah. Drops good. Those drop good. Yeah, bounces right off of that screw. Get this other one on real quick. Hopefully. And again, while I'm doing this, I'll repeat it because I forgot where I was at on that whole spiel, because I squirreled to see. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Either way, it don't matter. And yeah, like I said, if you're here for just the agonizing torture of watching somebody build an old ass car, you're welcome. Or if you enjoy what you're watching, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not already. And enjoy. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Let's see, we'll tighten down the grub screw. Boom. Perfect. Nope, get on there. Because I enjoy doing this stuff too. And I like sharing it like this. And as you can tell, all of my stuff is old, because I am sponsored by me, as it were. So there is nobody footing the bill here except me. So that's why sometimes it's a little bit budgetized. Now, I don't like it being budgetized, but restrictions. Oh yeah, see, still just so smooth. And that gear sound when it's out on the track sounds so cool. Now, We're on to chassis braces, and they're marked. They are labeled. This one here is my left front. And it goes right there. And they have a little bit of a riser on there. These are countersunk there. And it's bigger up back here for the front ones. Rears are pretty well the same. They just sit right down on here. And these can be, you can use these as a tuning tool actually. Because it keeps, here. Being it's a chassis brace to here, it keeps the flex. It cuts down on a bunch of the flex. You can probably hear that because there's no screws in there. You can hear that creaking. It's just them sliding. And you can loosen the screws so you can get a little bit more flex in the chassis, remove them all together. It is part of the tuning. So they do get a little bit tight when you're trying to put them on. There we go. Yeah, that's nice and snug. Guten Tag. Countersunk screws at the point. Your regular socket head screw up there. So everything is all nice and uniform. Awesome. You're probably not seeing everything shaking, but I am. Because you're shaking with the table. Yes, the arms do get tired. But it is very important that you do not use power tools in this stuff when you're cutting the threads in. And then when you do use power tools, turn that clutch way down. Just enough to where it's just turning the screw. Back it off if it's skipping. As you're trying to run it in, you just run it up one notch. That way you're not going to damage anything. Oh, dang it, and I still got 4 more to go. 5 after this one. The forearms are pumped and the fingers are cramping. Arthur's trying to grab a hold of me. I try and resist it as much as I can, but you know, it happens. Especially when you're working on small stuff like this. It always gonna get you. So, just about there. Phew. And it still took 30 minutes to get this done. And I cheated a little bit this time. I did the whole magic of television thing. Oh, mercy, mercy. Whew. Especially when you're trying to rush. This is why a lot of people use the power tools, but I can't do it. Not on the initial build, anyways. Just can't do it. So, now that we got these guys all put in here, we are setting ready to do the next agonizing thing, which everybody loves. Everybody's favorite part of doing any kit. Can you guess what it is before I say it? I know you've probably already been saying it anyways. All right. Chassis braces are in. Out drives are in. Working smooth. So nice. Everything is at base adjustment. Everything's moving nicely. Nice and freely. Ace freely. So, like I said, next up, which is bag G, because we've done E and F just then. Time to do the shocks. That's going to be the next. Probably won't torture you so bad with those. I'll just show you how one goes together. And then we'll go from there. But these are very interesting shocks because they have these funky little cartridges with a foam that goes around them. You got to soak the foam, get the burr off your piston there. Yeah, this is good times, had by all. And any of you guys that remember doing this is where you began hating to do shocks. This was your first introduction into the hatred of building shocks. But once you get all that put together, it's pretty much the same thing. It's the same idea. You're building after that. So, get back up here. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for letting me torture you. It's looking good. Nice and clean, no scratches. This is brand new out of the box. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun little drive. So, appreciate it, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, share, and check your subscriptions. If you think you are subscribed, go check and make sure. Hit the bell so you get the notifications when I put up a new video. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Go out and have some fun. Bye.